Hey there, and you're welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I'll be talking about how to make better films. If you are a pro or you are a beginner filmmaker, you are all covered. And without wasting much time, let's dive into it. The first tip is that you have to plan ahead before shooting. Never overlook the place of planning ahead. It is very important because you can easily take out your camera and go anywhere and shoot whatever you want to shoot. But it is more better and more efficient when you have time to storyboard or write out whatever you want to shoot. It might just be listing it out, or it might just be sketching something in the form of storyboard, or it might just be listing whatever you want to shoot in just a normal form, just writing it out. The first scene is this, the second scene is this. Doing this, you ensure that on your set you have everything captured because you have a list, you have a guide of what you are looking at. And sometimes it might be that your pre-planned process might be that you have to go to your location, you have to scout the place, check out the ambience, check out the lights, check out the sound. It won't be a funny scene if where you plan to do your shoot is a place beside a school or a place where there is waterfall or something, and the sound is not just correlating with what you have in mind. So you might have to go to your location or wherever you want to shoot and take a look at the place before you go there and shoot. That will help you in a long way in making better films. Lighting is one of the most important aspects of filmmaking, and it can make or break your film. Either you are shooting indoor or outdoor. If you are shooting outdoor, you can get away with the natural light and use that to your advantage. But if you are shooting indoor and you don't have a big window light like mine that is lighting my background there, if you don't have that, you might need to get an artificial light. And if you don't know how to shape this to get your kind of or desired look, you end up having a bad film. In my case now, I'm filming this using just one light source here, and I'm using the window light as a source of background light. So I had to block a part of the window to create that negative feel for me, for my face. So I don't want the window light to spill over my face. That's why I'm using a part of the window as the light for the background and the other part as a negative feel. So I have a black curtain on the window halfway down. So one part is lighting the background and the other part is serving as a negative feel for me, and this is serving as the key light for me. So even if you are shooting indoor, you need to learn how to master the light you have. If you don't have these big lights, I can do well with just my window lights. I remember when I started filming these YouTube videos, I only had my window lights for my videos. So I used that to my advantage and I made good videos out of that. Irrespective of the light source you have, irrespective of where you are filming, you need to learn how to master your light. It is very, very important. Stabilizing your shot is another thing you need to learn about. Shaky footage is a way of differentiating an amateur from a pro. Either you are a beginner or you are a pro. You need to know that stabilizing your shot is very important, unless you are going for a special look or a kind of handheld kind of look. That's when you can straight away hand into your camera and do whatever type of movement you want to do. Unless you are going for that kind of look, that's when you can just go away and do away with stabilization. But if not, make sure you stabilize your footage in whatever way you can, either using a post-production form of stabilization or using it while in production. That might entail using a monopod, a tripod, a gimbal, a steadicam, whatever means of stabilization you have. Try and make sure you use as form of stabilization to make sure your footage is not shaky, because no matter how good your video is, no matter how good your film is, if it is shaky, you are passing another message entirely to the viewers. So you don't really have to have the best kind of gimbal or the best kind of stabilization form. Primarily, it might just be that you have a camera that has a good inbuilt stabilization. I remember in those days when I was using the Panasonic Lumix G9, that camera, I think, and GH5, they have the very good in-body stabilization. So I use that to my advantage. I handheld it well, and I minimize my movement and I do some ninja work as well. And I got some very clean footage out of that. And when I know that I need to take a step further, I can just go ahead and shoot in a higher frame rate. I can go ahead and shoot in 60 frames or 120 frames per second. Then I slow it down in post to make everything very smooth. Try and avoid shaky footage. It is very bad for your production. Sound is very important in filmmaking and it is as important as your visual. If you have very good quality video and your audio is bad, like terrible, you end up having a bad film. So if you want to have a good production or a better film, make sure you invest in good audio. You don't necessarily have to have the best microphone out there. It's just maximizing what you have with you. It might be as little as this microphone or just a lapel mic that you have. Make sure your environment is quiet enough. Make sure the mic is closer to the mouth as much as possible to pick the voice directly. If your location is lousy and you are trying to use a cheap microphone, you end up having a bad um, sound in your video. So make sure you invest in your audio. Don't just buy a camera worth 10,000 grand or 3,000 grand and you end up buying a microphone of 50 quid or 10 quid. Try and invest in your audio as well because it can make or break your film as well. And lastly, this tip is very important. That's the stage of post production. Edit your footage with intentions in mind. Most times, you might have to think ahead. Even before shooting, you might have to start planning your post production. How do you want the film to turn out? That will help you in post production, so you know what to start with, you know what to cut out. And please don't always include every shot you have on set in your film unless it is very necessary. It might look good but it might not be telling the story, so cut out the unnecessary part of your footage and make sure what you have is just the necessary and most important part of what you have on set. Editing or post production is where you can sell yourself out there. No matter what you have shot on set, this is where you can put them together, reshape the story, and present it in a better way for everybody to get the glimpse or idea of whatever you are trying to pass across. So have your intention straight. Sometimes for me, it might be that I might have to get my sound or my music before going ahead to shoot. So that will help me. I know what piece of video I need to look out for because of the sound I'm working with. All of these are very important. If you just shoot everything you want to shoot and you just put them in post and you just join them together, put fade in transition, try and put your best in post production as well because that's how you bring whatever you've shot on set to life. And there you have it. Those are my 5 important tips in making better films. Remember, you have to plan ahead. Lighting is very important. Your sound is very important. Stabilization is very important. And lastly, editing with intentions are the keys you need to make better films. And if you have any other tips out there that you think will help and make better films, please do well to drop them in the comment section below. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for subsequent videos like this. And thank you very much for watching. I love you all.